gotta get out. We gotta get out of this.
Stop! You see this? This is hope. Without it, people die.
I just want to fucking scream.
Stacy, my manager, who's sitting right over there, you can't see her, but she sent me a script that she had read, and she said it's really, really great. I remember reading it straight through, and afterwards, I'm kind of a softie, and just weeping. My wife and daughter were sleeping, and she said, shh, you know, the baby's sleeping. And she said, well, what's going on? You know, because she could tell I had been crying. And I said, this is it, you know. And she said, is it good? I said, it's the best thing I've ever read. ERNIE is every man. It really is about how most of Americans live, I think, paycheck to paycheck. It's worrying about how to pay the electrical bill. It's cutting coupons to pay for groceries, you know. It's how I grew up, worrying about like how you're going to make it to next month. It takes place right outside of Orlando. Interestingly enough, where you have Disneyland and this, you know, this big dream. You have trailer parks, and you have, you know, right next door you have these, like, you know, $1 million suburbs. I think Kirsten really nailed it. She described it as the falsehood of the American dream, you know, and that carrot being dangled in front of your face. And when Ted Levine's character comes into play and shows up with all these flashy things, and, you know, I mean, you know, he's a Kardashian, you know, and he's who, I mean, you know, we all, the neighborhood goes wild, you know. I mean, it's like, oh my goodness, we can have that.
Those fucking tapes told us we get rich.
The system works. Look at where you are. Think about where you want to be.
It sounds like there's a lot of this that you saw maybe in your life, you know, growing up. Like this feels familiar to you.
Oh, sure. Everything was a scheme.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was a scam. You know, and a lot of my friends really went downhill because of that. Fortunately, I had a father who was very, very adamant about, you know, telling me, you know, that's king for a day. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And everyone who gets caught up in that, you know, really, like, you know, either ends up dead or in jail. I get this, you know, I get, you know, needing to prove that you know, I need to do better. I need to, like, you know, I need to succeed. I need to make something of myself. Fortunately, I heard that. I really did. And I never got caught up in that. It's interesting. My mom actually got caught up in one of these with these oils, and it was really sad, you know. And she spent a bunch of money that she didn't have, and, you know, tried to, you know, get us all to be her downline, you know, and was like, you know, and you're in Hollywood, you know, and you'd be great for this because, you know all these, like, stars, and you can have them sell it, and they know so many people, and, you know, so we ended up buying all her oils and stuff, you know, but it was really sad because she got taken for a ride.
I've been having sex all day with both Melissa and Gail. I feel like a rolled up tube of toothpaste.
You dirty dog.
Looking forward to the feature-length version of that, you know, sex.
Bring this weirdness to the bedroom.
Doing it, we were like, are we really, like, on a network doing this show, like, saying these things, and, like, are they really gonna let us do this? Like, are they really gonna? And I think it was all Will. It was just Will, like, you know, he would just push the envelope. I really feel super blessed to have been part of that show. And we all ended up being like a family because we were the last people on Earth. So we like worked together every day. And it was just the five of us. And we saw each other every day. There were no other really characters, and it was really hard not to break during. The way it would go was, I think I was the one that would laugh first. Mary was the second laugher. January was the third laugher. Will and Kristen would never break. They were like, they would never break. They were
that live comedy thing, I imagine.
Yeah, they just never. They were rocks. Wow. Yeah, they were rocks. They would never ever break.
What do you think that show kind of said about what it meant to live in 2015, 2016, about our culture? Do you think it reflects any like deeper themes about who we are? Yeah,
we're super self-centered, incredibly like selfish, like neurotic. Yeah, we're a mess. we're totally a mess. For Todd, I think, you know, Todd has decided to put on rose-colored glasses. And he's decided that, you know, I now am going to see everything positively. Like, that's it. I've made a decision, you know. And, but he's incredibly emotional.
A guy like you, he's got some money, he's got some money to throw
I know
around.
what you're saying. Who cares?
No matter which one wins, we're going to get a piece.
He's got a gambling problem.
Nobody can ever come after you, but you get the profit.
The price is right.
It's a win-win for you. It's a lose-lose for everybody else.
Tell the guy you've got 14. He checks.
That's why we're getting
realizes
consortium together. It's not going to just be, there's going to be a piece of the pie.
To be able to be like, you know, like the reason like Saul wears his pinky ring, you know, like that's legacy. To work with those guys, they're just such amazing writers. And I don't know how they think so far in advance. They'll plant something in episode 1 and then it'll show up in season 5. And I don't know how they map that out. Their brains work in a way that I just can't wrap my brain around. That and working with Bob was kind of a dream. I was so psyched. That was my first job. That was you know, and being in New York, like that's like major street cred as an actor. I remember going in for the audition and them calling me and telling me I got the part, and you know, you're nobody until you do an episode of Law and Order back then. After that, I did the other show that was filming there, which was Third Watch. And then those were the 2 shows that were filming there. And I think there was Spin City at the time that was filming there. And I did theater and I lived in a walk-in closet, literally. I remember I had a buddy who lived out here in LA and he was like, dude, I'm working all the time, man, you know? And I was like, yeah, I'm working at a cigar shop making like $12 an hour. And I can barely like pay for this walk-in closet here. And I'm eating like Kung Pao chicken at the Chinese place every day. And I guess I should probably move to LA. And then I did, because I was, you know, I was of the belief system that, like, you know, real actors are from New York and, like, you know, they do theater. When you're hungry and, like, you know, sleeping on a park bench in Central Park and stuff like that, and, you know, eating day-old bagels, your mind will change really quick. So I was walking around homeless about 3 a.m, and I said, dude, do you think you can like maybe buy me a ticket to LA and I could crash on your couch for a couple weeks till I save up some dough? And he was like, yeah.
My brother Leon was a leader of a group called the DEUCES. We made a vow that there would be no drugs on the street.
Tell your brother we're moving in over here. My dead body, or you gonna move junk into this building? Come on.
What was the first job you booked when you moved out to LA then? Do you remember that?
It was a movie called Deuces Wild.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
On here.
Yeah.
Mm.
And with Scott Calvert. And everybody, God, like Norman Reedus was in it, Brad Renfro, rest in peace, Stephen Dorff, Johnny Knoxville, Balthazar Getty. It was absolute chaos. This poor director trying to wrangle all these young kids, you know, smoking a bunch of weed and who knows what else.
Somebody broke that thing that comes down from the parking booth. You know, the things that comes down, keeps the cars from coming in. The thing. It's like a gate, but it's just a stick. Comes down on a hinge. Keeps the cars out. Goes up and down 90 degrees.
The arm?
Me and Ken jammed so hard, and they let us just roll. Ken is like such an amazing improviser. He's just such a funny guy and such a good heart. I had a very good time on Community with Ken. You got to bring your A game in that show because everybody's pretty tight. You know what I mean? Everybody's it's such a strong cast.
Oh my God. You're telling me that we are dealing here with a photo of a patient's vulva? It's not funny.
No, nurse, no.
This is a data protection issue, a clear and blatant HIPAA violation. HIPAA compliance and data protection have got to get involved.
That was like doing theater again. That was like my whole heart. Mm-hmm. We had to know the whole script by Monday, and we'd run it like a play on Monday, and twice, once as a rehearsal and once for camera. I've never experienced anything like it on film. I mean, it was a masterclass. It really was for me. Will Schaefer came to me and said, "You're enough." I think I was acting in a scene, you know? And he said, don't act. You know, don't act. Don't do that. You're enough. And I really heard him. And I think that changed my whole life. The tone of that show was that, you know? It was just, you're enough.